So what is the problem we are trying to solve? We are trying to solve how to make this particular component what is displaying here. Yeah, first thing is we want to make it using desktop layout, and then since we have learned media queries, we should be able to convert this into mobile layout as well. Correct? This is a challenge. Desktop layout is this, mobile layout is this. Right now we are not much worried on the exact design, but we are interested in making this layout. Alright, so how do we get started? We will start off with what is called as HTML. So let's write an HTML. Just in the interest of time, I am copying an HTML which is already written. Yeah. So let's format it. Let's see if I have written a correct element. You take a container, there is a div, there is another div for image. Okay. Which I don't think required. You don't need div. You can place it, but you don't need an extra div. And this is the exact image which is coming. That is fine. We'll have to give alt attribute also. Yeah, that's something best practice. So you got h1, you got h3, you got two buttons, download and learn more. Okay, learn more. All right. Now the thing is, you added a container, and that container has this content. Now first thing, so this design let's approach in a desktop first, and then we are going to make it to mobile. Correct? That's how I told. So let's see how we do that. Okay, first let's make this layout first. So is it coming in that layout? Maybe no. Yeah, we don't see it is coming like that. But how do we make it? Simple. For this container, I have to make display. What I have to make for the container? I have to add display flex. Why? That's the way I can see that these two content side by side.
Sir, I already added, sir.
No, wait.
Not.
I'm sharing. Okay, no issues. You just see how I'm doing it. Okay. Now, so with this, what happened? This they are side by side. So we have also learned that how we can make things center. Correct? How to make all these items center. So how do we make these items center? So let's see. Container is already having. Okay, for that we have to start off with style like body margin 0, and then we will also reset box sizing so that it becomes easy. Star comma star star before element and after pseudo element. I would like to apply box sizing to border box. Now what is the purpose of this? I would like to make this content exactly in the center. Now first thing I'll give height as 100 kght, height as 100 vh so that it takes up full width. Now you see the content is also stretching. So we don't want the content to stretch. Instead, we want align items center. That way, okay. So item in the center. I can also use justify content center. JCC. Correct? So all we have done is we have used a display flex. So the interesting property border actually helped us to understand how it is. Since we want to center it, we have given enough height so that it takes full viewport height. One thing you also observe, there should be a space between these two elements. For that, we can use again a flex property called gap. We will start off with, let's say, 1.5 rem. Is this okay? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So desktop layout is almost done. That's all it is. It's simple. Now, maybe some more things with respect to desktop layout is, see, these items are all, I mean, specifically, you observe, these are all right aligned, not left aligned. Yeah. Do you see that? All this, whatever we have, the the div that is having the text content, correct? Okay. So this div, if you see, all the text is in. So let's put style text align right. This was something required, correct? This is how it is there. All the text is inside. So likewise, we can apply whatever possible style to make it exact. Alright. So far I believe it is clear. I just added the inline style because there was no class added. Yeah, again inline style is not a good practice. So this is okay for just for the practice.
Okay.
Now let's see what we are supposed to do for a mobile layout. See what is happening in a mobile layout. In a mobile layout, this element is coming on top, this is coming bottom. That's how we should first understand. Not to worry about how to make this one below and all that. First thing is, so since we identified two elements, okay, let me show you first pictorially and then we will try to do it exactly like this. So I'll cut this image. Okay, this is what you should learn next time. So let's copy, put it into our Excalibur. Then I'm going to paste it. Now, so what I am saying right now, so you should consider this as one element, this as another element. That's how it is there in HTML also. Now what we are supposed to do, let's say if I cut this, yeah, this div, okay, not the one, this is a div, so this div should come below. That's all I have to do first,
Yes.
correct? So no need to worry about the rest of the things. So now tell me, if there are two elements like side by side using flex, how do I make this element on top and this element bottom? How? First let us solve that problem first. Getting what I'm saying? Yeah. So for that I'll open a simple code pen so that you all understand. So container, I'll make, let's say button 1 and button 2. Yeah, just to illustrate those two boxes I have taken button. Now tell me, how do I make button 2 on top of button 1? Now container is a flex. So now we have to think how this can be done, isn't it? Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
now one way to do this is using flex is, I can say justify content row reverse. Oh, sorry, not justify content. I'm going somewhere. Flex direction row reverse. What happens? Yeah, it is actually. So let's see what happens with flex direction column.
Column.
What happened? just that the elements were side by side. Now they became one below the other. They were like this. I just said flex direction column. They just aligned one below the other. Now if I say column reverse, button 2 will go on top, button will come bottom. Now why they are stretched? You tell me. Because we know that there is a property called align item center. Yeah, align item stretch. Correct? That is basically will stretch the element. So that I want to avoid. So now I will say align item center instead of stretch. In mobile layout, let it stretch. That's also not a problem. So you understood this technique now? I'm going to make button 2 and button 1 below. So now if you apply the same technique here, but with the media query, then we are almost done. Placing this on top of this. So first thing is we have to write a media query. So yesterday we have learned media rule. So let's start with screen. Yeah, for now. And what? Max width I have to apply. Why? Because I want to apply only this. If it is up to 600 pixel, then I will consider it as a mobile viewport. So in that only I would like to change. Now what I am supposed to change? Container, I am making display flex, and then also flex direction column reverse is what I have done. That's all was the change. Did we do anything else?
Yes.
Correct. So now let's see, let's test it. So it's under 600 pixel, right? 657. It is coming one below the other.
Yes, sir.
Coming. Now half of the work is done. Now what else is left out? The left out part is how do I align these things one below the other, and how do I make it these elements stretched, isn't it? It's just making, okay, so a separate style for this. So for example, now we have got a container. So under container we have got one div, correct? We would have given one class for it, but I'm just writing. So text align, which was given right, and make it center. So since there is an inline style, I think which is overriding. Yeah, there's an inline style which is overriding. I'll give it a class content, or let's say text content. Okay, for that element I'm going to say dot text content center. See, it is in center now. Correct. What else? Tell me what else I have to
Yes.
apply so that it's looking like this.
Buttons.
Sorry? Buttons should be different style, correct? So let me
Yes.
just change this part dot text content text align, right? That is to keep the old one, huh? As I disturbed a bit. Now buttons. How do I make buttons full width? How do I make buttons full width? Tell me. Dot text content. Okay. Under that we have got button. So that button I have to say width as how much? 100%. What are I applying? Width as 100%. Okay. Let me also put one border to it just to see why it didn't take the full width. Okay, it's not under 600. Is it under 600? No, it is 600. It is 600. What I'm not seeing, container border 1 pixel solid. Yeah, container is being given, so border is not visible because that is occupying full width. That is the reason. So this is fine. Let me put for text align how much it is coming for, because it didn't occupy full width. Let me see how much it is coming. It is only coming this much, correct? Since it is coming this much, these two are only occupying this much width. 100% means what? 100% of its parent container,
Yes.
isn't it? So now what I'll say, I'll put align item stretch actually. Let's see how does it look like. Stretch. Stretch is not stretching this element. Huh? I want this element to be stretched. Let me just check it. What did I say for container? I think I gave a wrong spelling or what? TCH. What is it? Stretch. If I give stretch, yeah, TCH. Okay. So then it will be looking like this. But we don't want this, correct? We have a different layout. We don't want this to stretch. We only want this content to stretch. The buttons to occupy full space. So now accordingly we give the width. So remember yesterday we learned we can even style the image. We say, remember if we give 100% what happens, and then we said no, we should give it like max width 100%. Remember the style, the technique that we discussed, right? So now we have to apply the same thing, same formula here. Container image, yeah, we have to say max width 100%. And then what? Height auto. That was the technique. But even then, I don't see it is applied because of flex. Yeah, because of the flex. Okay, so what I will do, I think I'll have to change a bit. So I'll add a div so that I'll make the div full width, but I'll make the image. So I'll introduce another div, what was there in the original one. So that let the div be full width. You see now? So div is full width, but then image is not full width. On top of that, I can also again make the second div is I can give some class to this. Let's say class name is, okay, let's say image content or image container, anything like that we can give. Now for that image content, yeah, again you can give text align and I'll take out this border so that we don't see it. See, this is how it is. And we can make things some more exact by giving some style, like between these two buttons there is a space and all that. But you observe now, so we have converted from this desktop to mobile layout, which is almost close to the way it is here.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can do this like confidently like this. If your first thing is, if you are sure of this property, you will start doing like this. But then in between with the layout, and you will not be able to imagine, okay, what is going actually, or how to do it. Okay, that is the reason you need practice like this. You need to practice. With practice only you get an idea, okay, this is how I can do. So for that you should also know the different properties and how to use it. What happens with something like flex direction, column reverse. So the techniques to align different content using different properties. Okay. So any question in this? Is it clear now what I mean how I have done? I have not used any different properties. Mostly it is all flex only. With flex I am able to change the order. With media query I have written a different style. Just 2 for 600. And also while implementing I'm trying to make as many changes as close to possible. Be it text align, be it making it center. So for this I just have to place this background. Now if I make the background, then content is almost like this. It's exactly in the center. I have to change a bit of typographical property so that it looks white rather than black. Alright, I think we'll stop here. Yeah, this is a good thing. Uh, so like this, you'll have to take different examples and then practice the different things.